ghosts are at it again. Yes, I couldn't wait to get down here quick enough to grab my camera, so I hurried up and got dressed. I'm upstairs in the shower. I hear a huge bang, like the front door closed, which is the sound when Roger comes in and out. He slams the door. And I get out of the shower, drip across the floor. I'm like, who's here? The dogs aren't barking, nothing. So, this house has been active. So, today's talk is going to be my days of ghost hunting before it became a fad on TV, prior to Ghost Hunters, and all the follow-up episodes after that. Okay, as promised earlier, I was going to show some of my ghost photos that we took back in the days. This photo was taken, I believe, in 2001. This was actually at Middleville Cemetery. The ghost hunters wanted to hit a cemetery. Take note at the bottom right corner. I know it's really kind of hard to see, and I have a very unsteady hand. Yeah. So that's just one of them. This next photo was taken in Herkimer. It was the same night. It was really active. I was trying to do readings. That's me standing there next to a stone. There's a lot of color going through there, a lot of like glittering, like, I don't know, really bizarre. Somebody else actually had a camera in front of the other person, which might cause some things, but it really doesn't make sense where you have like this line going down through here and like that. So that was kind of a bizarre one. Oh, let's see. This was actually taken at General Herkimer's home. General Herkimer was very popular around our areas. We have a village named after him, Herkimer. And it's almost like there's a shadow of somebody like walking sideways there. Okay, this was taken in 2002. This was at Gettysburg. Above that, this darkness is a trail that leads to Beardsley Castle. Very, very, very haunted location around here. Probably the most renowned. Go on Google and check out anything that has to do with Beardsley Castle. This next one was actually taken here in my house before I moved here. The house looks nothing like this now. As you see right here, you've got a little bit of a glare in the mirror coming from here, but there appears to be what looks like a girl standing there. Gosh, I wish I had a steadier hand for this. I can't wait until my headpiece comes in. So, yeah. Which we already know that there's, you know, ghosts here at our house. This was at a train wreck in Little Falls, New York. Those were some of my ghost hunters back in the day. This was taken, I believe, in, okay, it says 3102. This one's really hard to see. I wish I still had this in my old computer. When I took this picture, this was actually taken at Beardsley Castle. I've done many talks and stuff throughout there. There appeared to be like a man standing here when the camera flashed, and there was a bright flash here. I'll never forget that. It looked as though he was like holding a pipe, but it's really, 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 really hard to tell because this picture was so dark. You know, like here's his waist, his overalls, his pants, body, head. But it looked like a guy with longer hair, receding hairline, kind of curly hair. No. This was, oops, I just dropped one. Oh, this was taken by one of my ghost hunters' husbands. Once again, it was one night that we were out and about in one of those old cemeteries that has stories in it. And that was my ghost hunter, Karen. This was taken at Lover's Lane in Bridgewater. That girl, Karen, that was just in the picture, got a phenomenal shot of, well, there's stories that Ricky Walker, who got pushed into the river there, drowned in his vehicle. And, yeah, my friend Karen there got a picture of his perfect face, exactly how he looked in '76. Unfortunately, you know, like everybody's computers back in the day, your computer dies, you lose everything, you know, that was in your computer. But any rate, this was probably the creepiest. It was taken on April 21st, 2001 at Beardsley Castle at the Carriage House. And yeah, when the camera flashed, it looked like somebody was like screaming, like their mouth was open. Before this picture was taken, one of the people that came to the ghost hunt says, well, we don't believe you're here. Once again, another person like my son, show yourself. And that's what came out in the picture. They also got a great picture of a man's face with an old-fashioned suit and tie, and very interesting, but I've lost touch with those people since then. This photo was taken in the old Herkimer County Jail. Very interesting story here because this was a real old jail, and they used to do hangings and stuff there. I have a lot more photos. I've got to dig out some of my older photos. I mean, I've probably got about 150 right here, but I mean, they get old just seeing blotches and pictures. But yeah, this is just some of what I used to do back in the day for a hobby at that. More ghost stories from my house. It was Saturday, April 2006. I went upstairs to take a nap around 1 p.m. After I first fell asleep, I felt someone ping my nose like they snapped it, like using your middle finger and pressing against your thumb and snapping. That's just what it felt like, but very lightly. I snapped awake quick, but then I fell back asleep. I kept hearing little noises and little movements in the room, like paper being rustled, things being moved on my dresser. I finally spoke out loud and said, "Yeah, I know you're here." Then all of it stopped. Now, in July of 2006, it was a full moon. I was in the kitchen and I felt a small hand, as if they had come running with their hand out, came and it pushed up against my leg and tipped me over to the left. I looked down expecting to see Dakota, but no one was there. In September of the same year, in 2006, I had went to bed and was thinking to myself about how my kid's father, my two older boys, was a jerk when he was alive. I said out loud in my head, "Bob, go away. Life was hell when I was with you." Then the TV came on, and then it went back off. I woke Roger up. He had to get up and go check the TV, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with the TV, and it was off. Also in July of 2006, Dakota came and slept with us in the bed because it was so hot in her bedroom. She was around the age of 2. She had just turned 2, as a matter of fact. She looked at where my closet was and covered her eyes and kept peeking out at nothing. She does that when she is shy or if she's scared of something. I told Roger to take a look at her, and he watched also. I then turned my back toward the closet and said out loud, "Get out of here, you are scaring my baby." She still kept peeking, but at that point, she instantly uncovered her eyes. It was a full moon once again in September of 2006, and there was a loud bang upstairs, and no one was up there. Now, jumping ahead to January 16th, 2007. It was 8:30 p.m. while I was snoozing on the couch with Dakota, and no one was here but Seth. Seth came down the stairs and said, "Mommy, there's a ghost upstairs." He said while he was in the spare bedroom, he looked through a doorway, which was adjoining his bedroom with the room that he was in, and he saw something small on the floor. He described it as being white, with just its head showing. Where the eyes and the mouth were, there were dark holes. He said that it was turned sideways and then it looked directly at him. It was a new moon out. So that's just a little bit more from my journal of ghost stories that happened in this house. I'm going to close the video here and probably do a separate one later on today. If not, I will follow up tomorrow. Make sure you go down below, leave a comment, or subscribe to my page. You can also go to Facebook and find me under Simply Sue. Again, thank you so much for watching.